Here at 11 o'clock, this is out of Weatherford. Overnight, an ammonia leak forced hundreds of people to evacuate their homes. More than 30 people had to go to the hospital. As of right now, the situation hours later is improving. We know the evacuations and the shelter-in-place orders have been lifted at this time, but ammonia exposure is very dangerous. Of those 30 people rushed to the hospital, we know close to 12 of them are in serious or critical condition. This leak forced schools in the area, the university, to cancel classes. Weatherford Public Schools shut down today. SWOSU decided to move their classes to online learning. And going back to when this started, around 10 o'clock last night, it was a tanker truck that spilled the ammonia in the parking lot of the Holiday Inn Express there in Weatherford. That's close to Main Street and Cypress Drive. The chemical spill's under investigation. Police think it may have been an accidental mechanical failure on the truck, and the Environmental Protection Agency is involved with this. They're working to help clean up that scene.
The cleanup's going to take a while. It could take probably several days. We pretty much got a lot of this stuff diluted right now, and so we're working with the EPA.
The crews in Weatherford, you heard it, they're working with the EPA to find out how they can properly dispose of the chemicals there. They're also working with the business owners close by to make sure that their buildings are safe. Here at KOCO, we've been committed to this story since late last night. Right now, we're joined live by Speaker Pro Tempore Anthony Moore, the state representative who serves District 57, that area, Custer County, and also Weatherford. Representative, we appreciate you joining us. It's 11:07, more than 12 hours now since this initial leak happened. Do you mind just starting with what's the latest information you have at this time?
Yes, I got briefed just a few moments ago. All of the shelter in place has been lifted. People are going back in their homes. They're being told to be careful, especially depending on their proximity to the leak location. They're being told that if they left their homes last night, they need to take the clothes and let them air out dry, replace air filters in their home. Luckily, we've got a very beautiful day in Oklahoma that we can open windows and let everything air out, make sure that they're not confined and any kind of concentration can't build up inside of a home. So that is very thankful. We're grateful that we've got a nice warm windy day that we can hopefully get some of that cleaned out. But it's been a whirlwind for the last 12 hours in Weatherford for sure.
Especially grateful for that Oklahoma breeze today. In terms of that location, I wanted to ask Representative, what's going to happen next? We know the EPA is showing up there to clean up this site. It's a spot that I know they want people to avoid. What could you say to people that maybe live close by and what they should be aware of?
Absolutely. We want people to stay away from that area. I know it's human nature to want to get close and look, but with all the things we're going to have to do with the water, with the sand, with the foam, you don't want to be close to that. Need to stay away from it. The good news is all of that stuff, we're very highly trained. We're grateful for our emergency management. We're grateful to all the folks in Western Oklahoma. Not only were those in Weatherford involved, but I mean, Clinton, Elk City, Woodward, Burns Flat, Blaine County, Dewey County. They came from all parts of Western Oklahoma to help, as far as Woodward, to come in to try to help. There were over 100 first responders on deck all night. I've talked to several of them. They're obviously exhausted and tired. I just got off the phone with the mayor. He's been up all night and not his normal spunky self, but I'm grateful that we had so much response from all the family of Western Oklahoma to come in. The division that came in from the civil engineers and the EPA, we're just grateful to all of them for the training and expertise because this could have been a lot worse than it was. Obviously our thoughts and prayers are with those that have been flighted to Oklahoma City that are in serious and critical condition. We still, I think 36 total was the last number I heard of people that have gone to the hospital, and our thoughts and prayers are with them and their family. And hopefully we don't have any long-term serious events, serious health events for any of those parties, because we would sure hate that.
Yeah, you bring me to that next question. I was going to ask about the people that are in the hospital. Close to a dozen, we're told, in serious, maybe even critical condition. Exposure to ammonia is very serious. Have you heard anything at this point, Representative, on the condition of those people and what they might be looking at in the days ahead, I guess?
No, obviously I'm aware that 4 were life flighted, 7 or 8 more were taken to Oklahoma City immediately, and then about 28 more total in the hospital. Obviously, it can be very serious and even fatal. So our thoughts and prayers are with those families and the doctors and nurses that are working with them. We hope that we sure come out of this without any fatalities. It would be devastating.
Yeah, our thoughts are with those people too. A big multi-agency response there last night. We appreciate you taking the time. I know you're very busy representative at the state capitol, and we'll stay in touch with you to get the latest information.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and here on KOCO 5 News, we're very dedicated to this story. We continue to give you team coverage of this. Sky 5 was the first helicopter, the only helicopter, to get the video moments after at one of the main sites there where police were staging at this scene. So we're going to continue to follow this, more coverage throughout the day here on KOCO 5.